Hey Gayatri, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So, what are we talking about today?
Oh, just yesterday night, my daughter was asking me to read a story. And usually I read a story from screen or from a book. And she told me that I want a story from you. And sometimes that's so difficult because I have to make something out of my imagination. I have to teach her something. And I realize that she's not looking for information. Kids are not looking for information, they are looking for meaning. And today we have a wonderful guest, Gayatri. I'm so excited to introduce him, Dayalu Ram Prabhu. He writes stories from timeless wisdom like Gita, which is very hard even for adults, but he makes scriptures so digestible for kids.
Hello, Hare Krishna. So nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you there, Ramprabhu.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, Ananka, for inviting me to have a conversation with you all. Thank you.
That is so amazing. Anga was just sharing that you actually use your creativity to make Gita absolutely digestible for little kids.
Yeah, his
Have
book
you
is
written
called Tales from Gita. Maybe Prabhu can talk.
Wisdom
Yes,
Tales from Gita? We
book
look at the book.
Gita is a very serious book, but I found some elements of the Gita which children can apply in their life. So I thought they should reach out to them. But children will not like to receive it as it is. If you want your children to intake nutrition, you'll try to cook for them something which is very appetizing, looks nice, presentable, and when they look at it, they say, "Wow, this is damn good." And in the process, they will absorb the nutrition also. So, whatever we present to our children, it should be very appetizing, fun, friendly. So that's the basic intent. They
I
should enjoy.
absolutely
Yeah,
the
yeah.
example that you gave. I've sneaked in vegetables into so many things, like by blending them. The very fact that you're focusing on the message of the Gita
Hmm.
and not just the memorization of it is really inspirational for me, actually, because we've heard so many times that Gita is for everyone
Hmm.
and how it can really, what it would really mean. It's like oftentimes we tell children that, oh, you need to read the Gita. And so even for us, we fake liking the Gita. You know,
Hmm.
It's too
yeah,
philosophy.
It's
it's
also
philosophy. Wow. So what you've done is really amazing. And I think it's very unique because I've seen a lot of Gita books
Hmm.
where they've simplified the verses
Right.
and just simplified the verses and made it more fun with some activities or something like that. But what you've done is you've taken the message of Gita and then you created these imaginary characters, and that gives a whole other dimension to
Hmm.
a child's brain relationship. And childhood is all about that. You have this friend toy and you're kind of talking to the toy. Just tell us, how did you even come up with this? Before we talk about this, I want to know what you really do as a profession.
So this book has nothing to do with what I do to earn a living. So I run a business, we import machines, and dear, there's absolutely no connection.
The fun part of you, this brings out the fun part from you and keeps you creative.
Child and me, we've been teaching children for the last 2 decades. So we run a school at Radha Gopinath Temple where children come on weekends to study about our scriptures. They learn shloka, they learn dancing, Vedic art, Vedic math and all those things. So we've been with children for a good amount of time, and we enjoy being with children. So the connection was there, but didn't land up writing anything. So I started writing quite late in life, but I'm enjoying the process. In fact, I'm on my fourth book now. So I become like a serial author. So, and got
In
books.
the same series? In the same series?
So basically, I don't know why I'm writing about animals. Maybe I was an animal in my previous life. I don't know what it is, but somehow the connection with animals is quite strong. So
Kids like animals as well. Like my daughter likes sheep one day. Sometimes she likes lions. So kids like animals too.
Well, they dress up like one too.
Yeah.
Even in the devotional characters, I know my son, my older one, always wanted a gada and a tail. Roam around with a fake tail and pretending to be Hanuman.
yeah,
And characters, even, I mean, he had choices to become whatever he wanted. But
right, right.
they're seeing
Yeah.
a lot of humans walking around, but they
Yeah.
don't see as many animals. And it's fascinating for them. So it's amazing that you've done something out of so much creativity. And I'd really like you to talk a little bit more about, did you have some inspiration, like you spoke about? You had some inspiration just working with kids. Do you have any of your own children?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure they'd be.
I have a daughter who's 26 years old, and she was possibly the first student we had in our school. So yes,
Been running for 2 decades now.
yeah, 2 decades. A lot of learning at home, raising your own child. There's a lot of hands-on learning experience which you bring into your teachings.
Tell us
And
a
what
little.
really is Govind Prabhuji. So when he spoke about the Gita, I felt it was quite practical. I felt it is something which is applicable. It is something which children can relate to, children can apply it in their life. And that was the basic thought process that children should learn about the Gita. It will help them in their life. So then how to bring it to children was this thought process of using animal characters. Now, where did these characters come from? How did these stories come about? It's a little difficult to explain. It has come from somewhere. But yes.
But like stories can reach where instructions cannot. So can you tell us more about what kind of stories, how you've applied these instructions as stories and how you've made it fun for kids?
That was a beautiful statement, Ananga. Stories can reach where instructions cannot. Even for adults, if you read Prabhupada's or Srila Prabhupada or your Guru Maharaj telling you something, sometimes they'll give you an example. They'll give an example. In my life, this is what I would do. Or Prabhupada would say that I also lived through this. Like I also had a shop and I also had a wife and I also say when you tie this in with stories, the instruction really comes to life. So something really beautiful that came out, Ananga.
Well, that's
Very
Yeah.
significant.
And stories, whether it's an adult or it's a child, we all love stories. Yeah.
We do. That's why movies sell so much. It's a story. You go through an experience in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And even though Bhagavad Gita has all of that, adding these animal characters to it just gives it a dimension for the children to start thinking about it and like kind of living it. Now they're with these animals and they're living this experience and learning the message. So you were just mentioning that Govind Prabhu kind of inspired you to write.
Because what Govind Prabhu says is that there are these laws of living, and we need to know the laws of living. So when children go to school, they learn the laws of science and the laws of math, and the laws of art, and that makes them smart, which is good. That will help you earn a living. But if you know the laws of living, to actually help you earn a life. So, if you can integrate the laws of earning with the laws of living, that's a wholesome life. So, the laws of earning makes you smart, and the laws of living, they make you wise. And when smartness and wiseness integrate, you experience greatness. So, we felt that these laws of living are not being taught to children in schools, very less at home. We thought this should reach out to children. It is to them to practice it or not, but the way it is explained, it's something which you can prove that it exists. For example, if I leave this pen, it will go down because it's a law. It's a law of gravity. You can empirically prove that this law exists. Similarly, certain laws of the Gita can be empirically proven to children who are very logical minded. Say, yeah, this makes sense. And I think I should go deeper into it. I should apply it in my life. And that's the basic endeavor. You may not believe in the lawmaker, that's fine. Or you may think the lawmaker is somebody else, but at least you believe that these laws exist. So the book is operating on this premise that at least understand the laws and apply the laws, and you will experience some change. And then it's up to you whether you want to know more about the lawmaker.
So nicely explained.
That really resonates with me because you're not really killing that independent, the free will that the Lord has naturally given us,
Mm.
but you're making this so fun in a space and the age that they're at, that you're giving that, and which we call as the foundational.
Mm.
The details can be taught. The
Yeah.
details can be, it's a lifelong learning. We're still learning newer and newer layers of the same message. But the whole importance of practicing values, like you call them as laws, is so foundational. And putting that with characters and making it fun, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I'm really feeling inspired to now get this book in my own hand and try to see how you've dealt with important subject matters through character.
Yeah.
So I really want to know one example. How did this, you took a character, you just came up with the character? Tell us a little bit about what kind of character is there in your book and
We
tell
have
us a
like
little bit.
we have Nara, and he's got 7 friends. So he has a monkey friend, he has a hippo, he has an elephant, he has
Now, line.
so he's got a set of 7 friends, and through their play and adventure, these principles come out. So, for example, I want to explain the concept of the principle. What is a principle? So, there's a story of Nara who goes up the mountain with his friends, and it's pretty cold, and they've lit a bonfire, and they are circling around the bonfire, and the monkey jumps over. And the monkey tells the lion cub, Nara, why don't you jump? So he says, I've not done this before. He says, you're a prince of the jungle. You should jump. You should be brave. So he says, okay, let me try. And he jumps over. But unfortunately, his tail catches fire. Okay, and they're trying to help him douse the fire. And after some time, the elephant comes and stamps on his tail. Fire is extinguished. So he goes home and he talks to his mother and says, Mom, you know what? Today I saw fire for the first time. It was so hot. It had different colors. But Mom, what I don't realize is, and fire is so hot. I didn't know fire is hot. So the mother says, but your fire is hot. So Mom, fire doesn't know that I'm so small and it should not burn me. Son, fire doesn't discriminate whether you're small or you're old. But Mama, fire doesn't know that fire burns. Say, fire doesn't care whether you know or you don't know, it will apply. And that is the principle of life. That's dharma of fire is to burn. And to know the principles of life is wisdom. He says, Mama, please teach me more because I don't want to burn myself again. So this way, the wisdom starts flowing and the principles start flowing into the book. So in such kind of stories, we introduce principles in a way that is engaging for children and it's fun for children.
That's amazing. You're turning the complex teachings to such a story way because it was so funny. My daughter keeps telling, "Can I help you cook?" And she will bring her chair and she'll stand in front of the stove and she'll say, "I want to cook as well." And I cannot. I keep telling her that you'll get burned, and she doesn't understand. So I was remembering from the fire story. These are good ways to make kids understand about the principles, like basic principles, but they don't understand it practically.
Yeah, true.
Such a nice example.
Yeah.
And I think it's more than understanding, they want to experience it. So now that he had already experienced it, Prabhupada gives the example of his own son wanting to put his finger in the fan.
Mhm.
Prabhupada turns the fan off and then he keeps telling him, don't do it. But the child, no, I want to. I want to
Right.
try. So
Yeah.
he turns the fan off, lets him experience it, a ding.
That's a good example.
And then he's, no, I don't want to do this. So
True.
while they hear this with animals, they live that experience because it's very easy for them to just move into that picture. Like even while you were saying that, I kind of was in the story. A child to go puppet,
Yeah.
like you said with puppets, and they move into the story. They don't have to
Yeah.
physically experience it because they're already experiencing at a
Yes.
full deep level and
Yeah.
logically, emotionally. I wouldn't be surprised if children are actually. Have you made puppets of these characters?
Yes. So we have two ways. So we actually wear a headgear. So we will become the elephant and we'll enact, and somebody will be narrating the story. And now we are doing one where there'll be an actual puppet show where these characters will pop out from the theater. Yeah. So we're trying various ways for making it interesting for children to understand the principles of Gita.
A lot of time when kids associate with a story or a character, they want to be fierce, they want to be strong, they want to be powerful sometimes. But they will be like, I want to be like that, or I want to be dressed up like that, or I want to have a toy like that. And
Actually, merchandise of
Well,
so today we actually put it out in our school, and quite a few children were interested. So we're trying all these things. So we have bookmarks and we made some animation videos. So we're just trying to make it very fascinating for children and fun. And in the process, we want them to learn. Uh,
while we have balanced entertainment and the profound life lessons together.
yeah. Yeah.
I really think having these animals as stuffed toys that they can
Yeah.
carry with them to bed, they always need something to tug on. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that your age group is under the age of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 to 10. Yes.
And just having that little stuffed toy to go with the
Yeah.
book. Is there any
Yeah.
character that you really like?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
have that stuffed toy. So they're carrying that message even throughout. And then people ask them, who's this? And then
Yeah.
they have this whole story
Yeah.
to tell. So it
Yeah.
becomes a part of their childhood. I think that'd be
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. I grew up watching Tom and Jerry and Lion King, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. Our childhood.
And you
That's
can't
true.
take them from childhood. The fun of Tom and Jerry running after each other is just
Yeah.
engraved in our memory.
Oh,
You could be 60 and 80 and you can still watch Tom and Jerry and so funny.
And it won't kill you.
was King. It's a beautiful movie and it's quite philosophical. They talk about the circle of life, and the story is quite like Mahabharata, the family feud, and
It's amazing because I've seen so many little kids walk around with little Krishna, and sometimes I heard from a few senior spiritual practitioners that, oh, maybe you should not make dolls of Krishna and children throw them anywhere, carry them anywhere. But having characters connected with Krishna,
Yeah.
just beautiful. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. So, what, tell us from, like you spoke about the laws, what laws are you touching in your first book? What did
So
you think was the most foundational? If I never wrote any other book, what are the first few principles that I would want to, that children should imbibe in their lives?
whenever I meet children and give them the book, they ask me to write something. So I write this line. I write play and pray every day. Okay. So I want children to be playful and prayerful. Now, what do I mean by being playful? Gita says don't be attached to the results. So whether you're studying or you're playing a sport, I mean, if you're attached to the results, you'll experience a lot of anxiety. It's like you're playing a game of snakes and ladders. And sometimes you get bit by the snake. Sometimes you get the ladder. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. But you don't stop playing. And that's actually what Krishna says is the way to live. I mean, you play life the way you play a game. Let your studies be playful. Enjoy the process of studying. Enjoy the process of playing. Because if that in itself is rewarding, then it doesn't matter if I sometimes get less marks or sometimes I get good marks. Because the whole journey was so playful that it's okay. Now, what is happening is the process of studying and the process of playing is becoming very serious, and the play is reducing. So, I want children to be more playful in whatever they do because that is living their childhood. If they don't play in their childhood, if they're not playful in their childhood, they will not live their childhood. And certain things obviously are not in their hands. Sometimes the results are not good. Krishna says that in the Gita that sometimes it's going to be hot, sometimes it's going to be cold, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. And that's when you be prayerful because it's beyond you. And take out time in the day to pray to the Lord for those things which are beyond your control, to give you the strength to deal with those situations which make you unhappy, make you sad. So, this whole concept of playful and prayerful is what I think symbolizes Gita. And this is what I want children to practice in their daily life.
And you actually said prayerful and playful and prayerful every day,
Yeah.
which is also talking about consistency of
Yeah.
keep doing the same thing
Yeah.
over and over and over, and that becomes your muscle memory. When it becomes your muscle memory, you automatically go to prayer in a
Yeah.
situation where you need to pray, and you automatically become playful because if as adults we learn to be playful, not just as children. If
Yeah.
there's a really difficult, even suppose I have a business and some things don't work and I'm able to laugh at it and I'm
Right.
able to laugh at the mistake I've made. That is, I think it's not just with children. I think it's an example and it's a muscle memory. You
Yeah.
can laugh at your mistakes and you
Yes.
can be people when the situations are beyond you. And if you can do it every single day,
Yeah.
life is, you're actually living Gita in a
Yeah.
way.
True. And it brings in that ease. If you can bring that ease in your life of trying to be playful and looking at challenges with a sense of adventure. Okay, I have a challenge now. Okay, it's like a child. He's trekking, and there are two paths. And which path to take? I mean, it is a challenging situation. He has to make a choice, but there's an adventure in it. So you have a choice when you are stuck, whether to see the situation saying, oh my God, it's a big problem, or you see it as the sense of adventure that, okay, let me try, let me see what I can do in this situation. Be playful in that situation. Yeah, I mean, if that becomes your second nature. So there's a friend of mine, once I met him and he didn't look very happy. I said, what happened? And then he said, one of my senior executives has put in his papers. Okay. He said, but it's a delicious challenge. I said, what do you mean delicious? He says, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to work on it. So, yeah, that's Gita. You come across a challenge and you look at it playfully. If you can do that.
I think I really like your point about for kids, especially, we don't want them to be result oriented because then they lose their playful spirit. And I was watching one of your posts just before the podcast and so beautifully explained. I think he was explaining in that post that when a kid gets A plus, then we ask them, what will you pray to Krishna? And the kid says that I will say, thank you, Krishna, I got A plus. I'm very grateful. And then what if you get a bad grade? What will you pray to Krishna? And the kid is confused. I cannot say thank you, Krishna, for giving me a bad grade. But then the kid is saying that thank you so much. I'll try better next time. And that really hit me in how we can pray, how we can make our prayers also playful. Thank you so much.
That's
Because
beautiful.
Because at the end of the day, what Krishna is trying to tell us that I came down to Mother Earth because I had hope that things will get better. Right? So when you are experiencing the highs in life, please be grateful. And when experiencing the lows in life, please be hopeful. Okay? So that's the hope. Children should not lose hope. They need to have faith that things will get better. Right? So look at challenges playfully, work on it, because we are seeing anxiety levels go up, we are seeing depression rates go up, we're seeing suicide rates go up. So we don't need to give up. We don't have to feel hopeless. Otherwise, Krishna would not come down. He would say, it's okay, let them deal with it. He's come down, giving us the hope that continue. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And you emphasized on the point of really living your childhood. I mean, I speak with so many adults who are spiritual practitioners, and they've expressed that I didn't really play through my childhood. Or the upbringing was always study, which is important. But at the same time, that balance that we create with fun and a lesson. And I wish this was done in many more spheres and just not if n- nowadays we really appreciate teachers that make math fun, that make
Yeah.
science fun, that make history through stories or just all of that. You've taken a very beautiful project. And I think this is, you said now you become a serial writer. I think you've got a mission for your life now. It's very vast. You can move from one subject of spirituality to the next book, to the next book.
Yeah.
And I think in the whole process, like you said, you're living your childhood again. In that whole process, you have probably also reinstated those values in your life. And I'm just like Anangam saying in awe. I've seen you multiple times in Chapati Temple, and I'm just like feeling, oh my God, why have I never spoken with you? Like I'm impressed by what you're doing because you've taken creativity to a
Yeah.
whole nother level by bringing this. I like to do journaling and my own personal spiritual practice, and I feel it takes my whole creativity to a level. But that's just for me personally. what you've done is you've taken your creativity to help others, which I think is just absolutely beautiful. It's
That's
beautiful through writing and through stories and then through living that experience. So I'm still wondering, which values did you touch on? I'm trying to understand in my head, which are the foundational values from Gita that you have touched on your first book? Did you talk about perseverance, like Arjuna not giving up? What did you talk about? Did you talk about, because he was in a situation in his life, but he was actually had to fight against his own family, per se. So, what kind of values did you really move into a story in your first book? And you have many series of this Wisdom of the Gita? Or what
Uh, no, after this, I'm writing about Krishna interacting with Nara, Krishna coming into the play. So, so
Krishna
Krishna's
interacting with Nara? That means Krishna is now showing up in different places where Nara is.
so it's Nara has heard about Krishna, and he's very fascinated to see him. But now he's a lion, and it's not easy for him to see Krishna. So he's trying many ways to see Krishna, but he misses a few times. And then finally, he gets to see Krishna when he tries to serve Krishna. So that's the message of the book. So it's called Peekaboo Krishna, where, you know,
Okay.
I want to see this character. Who is he? Everybody's talking about him. And it's so fascinating. And there are these 4 failed attempts. And the 5th attempt, he gets to see Krishna. So the next book is about one cow who wants to join Krishna's herd of cows. And Krishna's got 9 lakh cows and she wants to be the 9 lakh one cow. So 4 attempts. And the 5th attempt, she joins the herd. And the next book is about the fishes, the aquatics who want to see Lord Ram in Rameshwaram because they've heard so much about Lord Ram and Hanuman and saying, who's this person? And failed attempts. And finally, they get to see Lord Ram. So in this way, I'm introducing children to these personalities.
the Peekaboo Krishna was so nice because
Yeah.
we do that to kids, Peekaboo, and you
Right.
explain with what concept. And I was just thinking about Narad. One life he saw Krishna, next life he was Peekaboo for Narad. So
That's so cute. Like,
Make Krishna fascinating for children. So yeah, they can read about stories about Krishna. But this is another bringing in a fictional character with a non-fictional character, trying to blend both together.
maybe you can tell about Vadharma story. I think I read about this Vadharma story in your book.
Yeah.
I just want to know, are all these books already published?
No, so these 3 books which I just spoke about is in the process. So the
Wonderful.
illustration done.
You have the Gate of the Wisdom is published, and where can people get it? Amazon
So
India?
available, yes, on Amazon across the world. Yeah.
We're going to link it here, also in the US as well. So we're going to link it here.
So it's available on Amazon.com as well.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm writing these books ready to keep myself alive. So I have a selfish. Yeah. I feel very happy doing. It keeps me energized. It keeps me alive. It helps me to get out of my lows. So I think it's like a win-win. So for me, it's not a burden. For me, this is an escape, or it's something where I get energized. So I'm enjoying the process. Yeah.
It made our day, Prabhu, as well. Like I just
I
this is the
want to read Peekaboo Krishna. I want to read Peekaboo Krishna. Oh, cute.
yeah. But in Bella's Vadharma story, I really want guys you to also hear. It's amazing how he's explained that concept so beautifully. I just read about like a
This
little
is
bit.
what concept?
Yeah, he's bringing that concept from Gita and he's explaining it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what I do is I explain to children, I show them a seed. So I show them an avocado seed and I say, guess which seed is this? And they have not seen an avocado seed ever in their life. What they've only seen is avocado on toast. Okay. And then what is seed? And then finally I'd give them some hints and they say, okay, there's an avocado seed. So I say, okay, so if I plant the seed, what will I get? I'll get an avocado. So that's the law of the farm. So every child has a seed in him or her, and you need to know who you are because that's what Gita says. So Nara is a little confused because he's not able to catch a rabbit, he's not able to catch the hyenas, he's not able to catch the cheetahs. And he's saying, what's happening? I'm like the future king of the jungle, and I'm not able to catch these tiny animals. And that's when Lala speaks to Nara. And so he speaks to Nara, and Nara's wondering, where is this sound coming from? And the voice is coming from the locket, and the voice is telling him, Nara, you're a lion. You need to know how a lion prays. You will not be able to catch anybody like this. So he says, oh, yeah, I need to know how a lion prays. So he goes in the hiding, and then he leaps and he catches the hyena. So we send out the message that you should know who you are and you should act according to that. So Arjuna was a Kshatriya and he said, I'll become a Brahmana. And Krishna said, no, it's better you be a Kshatriya. It's okay if you lose fighting, that's better than you begging in the forest. So we tell children you should know what your natural talents are, what your personality is, and you need to be that rather than trying to be somebody else. Because children tend to compare, tend to look at social media and say, I want to be like this child. I want my hair to be like this. I want my nose to be like this. I want to be as intelligent as this child who does math. So we tell them that look outside, but more importantly, look inside.
Beautiful. It reminded me of that word from Gita. Never try to imbibe someone else's occupation. Amazing how beautifully explained that. Gets into my head as well.
And this is more for parents and teachers because they have to help the child discover Viswadharma. So
Mm.
let's start early in life. Yeah.
So you're doing these classes only in person at the temple? Or
Yeah,
how
we do it
you-
online. We do it online, and we have teachers also who teach this course. We have a workbook, we have slides. Anybody who wants to teach can do.
So the book comes with a workbook. So there are two books together.
Yeah, there are two books. You can take the workbook separately. I mean, in the soft copy, you can print it wherever you are and use it. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, I think even for Sunday schools around the temples,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
around the world, it would be, especially for the younger ages, it'd
Yeah.
be really amazing. It's
Yeah,
fascinating.
book for teachers to use in a classroom setting, like with the activities and the kind of questions.
Amazing. I'm really curious about which books you're going to come up with in the near future. I mean, you have three in the pipeline, and all three of them sound so fun.
When Maharaj named our school 2 decades back, he called it Gopal's Fun School. Very simple. And we didn't understand the name so well. It was after many years we realized that Maharaj wanted us to make it fun for children. He could have given it some serious name, but he just said it Gopal's Fun School because he said children should have fun when they come to the temple. In fact, he told us that, how do you know you're doing well? He says, the day the child cries that I want to go to the temple, that day understand that you're doing a great job.
Hmm.
And children will only cry when they're having fun in the temple. They want to go to the temple. They should not be forced to go to the temple.
Because come Sunday, they already cry they don't want to go Monday to school. But temple, I would really want them to cry that they want to go to temple.
I want to go. Yeah.
I am amazed. Yeah, Gopal's Fun School. Perfect. Really tapped into the name. You've tapped
Yeah.
into the nature of the kids. And I think you've tapped into your own creativity in such a beautiful way that is inspirational. And I think you're not just an inspiration for the children, but definitely an inspiration for me. And I'm sure a lot of adults who think age becomes a barrier to do anything. It doesn't.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you're in your late 40s or 50s to start a new hobby, career, inspiration. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's inspirational, and it's given you feeling that you're contributing towards the mission, the mood, and towards helping children in their primary age. It's just beautiful. I'm just so impressed, and I'm so grateful.
Especially at this age, because kids are consuming so much content and they want
Yeah.
instant entertainment, but this is so much more fun. Plus, you're blending in the timeless wisdom. So
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
very fascinated by what you're doing.
I'm
Thank you.
seeing the scope to be just beyond just books. It's going to soon become games. It can become so many things. This has just got so much scope
Yes, true.
because, I mean, people in the West, especially, or even like you have these imaginary toys that adults, or imaginary pets that adults are keeping to
Mhm.
tackle with loneliness.
Mm.
Like have timing to feed it and then timing to, and it's a little pet. It's not a living thing. And it's just, it helps their cognitive function. Many people think that it's really helping cognitively, it's helping them stay alive, it's helping with their mood. This is just for adults. And can you imagine if a child has been raised with keeping that creativity alive, keeping that
Mm.
they can get out of any situation when they have that humor and they have that inspiration to look outside the box, and that creativity comes from there. All these
Mm.
Legos that they play with, it's like they're building something in their own
Yeah.
minds. The same
Right.
can once be a car and then once be a truck and then once be an airplane, and you've
Right.
taken that to, I think that will really expand their vision and looking out of the box as well. So you're tackling this at very many levels. That's, I think, foundationally on very many levels. So amazing work, bro. I'm
Thank you.
so full. And you have an Instagram page.
Yes, I do.
How do people reach out to you in case they want to do any bulk orders, or is there an email that they can contact you at?
I could share my WhatsApp number.
We'll link it here.
Maybe just an email ID and your DM. We can just add it. It's been an honor for me to have this conversation with you. And I really hope we can continue this conversation in person as well. I'd like to get my hands on a copy of the book. And
Thank you. Uh, speak to you, both of you.
I
Thank you.
echo with Gayatri. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Just before, when we were starting, I thought you were a storyteller, but you're doing so much more. Like you're raising the consciousness of kids and even all the human beings in a very profound way. So thank you so much for your time and for what you're doing right now. Thank you so much. I so interested in getting the second book, the Peekaboo Krishna.
I love the name. Did you name?
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jai.
I'm grateful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.